ya Kenya ili tutapate utawala iliyofaa.
In a bid to promote cross-border cohesion among communities living the Kenya-Ethiopia border in Marsabit County, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, through the Conflict Early Warning and Response Mechanism, also known as C1, has started livestock markets along the border to bring the communities together. This in a region where for years locals have witnessed unrest resulting from, among other things, scramble for pasture. KTN's Ibrahim Karanja visited the communities living along the border and compiled the following report.
Along the Marsabit-Moyale highway deep in the north, strong crossing winds bring with it a new lease of hope. Currents are fast changing. Sololo town now has new sights and sounds. Laughter, songs, an aura brought about by the promise of cross-border peace.
Now sometimes there is clashes between ethnic groups, particularly like Borana and Gabra, Borana and Burji and Gabra sometimes, Borana and Garri, you know, these ones. This is mainly as a result of when there's a depletion of water and pasture.
Conflict is something which is man-made. It is a dynamic. It can come and change any time. Today, you find we are in peace. Tomorrow, you find conflict arises.
As similar to most of the parts which is predominantly occupied by the pastoral community. Pastoral livelihood is sort of accompanied by conflict. Is sort of characterized by conflict.
It is only 4 kilometers to Ethiopia. Standing at a vantage position right at the border, that hill over there contains tons and tons of memories. The tension that once in a while engulfs this region due to scramble for pasture and water, but not anymore.
So we as the community leaders had to sit down together. We discussed. We found how can we go about, because we are pastoralist communities. As pastoral communities, we need to look for ways and means to overcome some of the situation that we can. The only market, the closest market to us was Moyale, which is 100 kilometers away. This is one of the major issues that we found. Why should our people travel all that way to Moyale, taking their livestock? When they reach the livestock market there, at times, they even go to a loss.
Unajua watu wakijumuika pamoja, ile umoja yao inazidi na inaenda juu. Lakini pia kuna mikakati mingine ambayo tumeweka ya kuangalia kwamba mambo ya amani iko sawa. Tumefanya mikutano ya cross border nyingi sana na wenzetu kutoka Ethiopia.
But we are established as an open system. An open system is we gather the information from the ground through open system. So we have what we are calling the field monitors. Now these field monitors are using specific indicators that they use to collect the data. When they collect the data, then of course they send it to the national level where analysis is being done and response options are developed.
Long before this market, locals, predominantly nomads, would trek for miles to sell their livestock unperturbed, fully aware of the danger that lurks in the silence of the thickets and wilderness they walked through. A similar story is shared by their counterparts from the Oromia regional state in Ethiopia, where the Magado livestock market has now been set up.
So the beginning, this is a big chapter, and this is the beginning. And that security challenge and other also minor challenges will be resolved. And the challenges are routine. Anyhow, this connection have created, this space have created a lot of opportunity.
His Excellency, the Foreign Prime Minister of Ethiopia, and His Excellency, the President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, launched
these cross-border initiatives in 2011 to transform the community's livelihood. And this launching livestock markets is part of that initiative. Hopefully this will strengthen the communities both in Kenya and Ethiopia to come together and harmonize the relationship. And hopefully this will bring a peace at the same time to the communities.
So if a conflict is likely to maybe fly across the border, basically, then we are more concerned, because then it could be like where we are in Sololo. We could be talking of a situation where there is a raid that is likely to take place from the Kenyan side into Ethiopia or vice versa. So we should be able, looking at different streams of data, we should be able to know. And a lot of our positive impacts have been on preventing raids from happening.
And an avenue for having a conversation on matters peace is now in place. It is already bearing fruits, with the tens of small businesses that are now sprouting in and around the markets. Locals along the border are now calm. It is the break of dawn. Ibrahim Karanja, KTN News.